guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I am Sean Butler. Well, there's the one you came to see, Bugsy Malone, doing the things she loves to do on Squirrel Patrol. How are you? I hope you're happy and healthy doing the things you love, guys. With those that you love doing them with, please do me a favour, like you always do. It really helps the channel. I'm very, very appreciative. Smash the like button for me. Hit the subscribe as well, if you haven't already. On the march to 20k, hit the notification bell and drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on today's topic. And I think this will be a quick one, but there is some transfer news, views and clues to get to you. And it comes from the Daily Express. Make of that what you will. But they are deciding to regurgitate in their own spin stories that are coming out of Italy for Tottenham and Nottingham Forest to be in a race as the two primary English clubs that are looking at this player, alongside a bunch of other teams around Europe, some high quality, high caliber names looking at this player. It's Andrea Cambiaso, the 23-year-old left back who came out of the Genoa academy system a few years ago and played his first season for Genoa. Juventus snapped him up, saw someone that they thought would have a lot of future, a lot of potential and a strong future, but then immediately loaned him back out again to Bologna, where last season he spent and played very well. He's then come back to Juve, and this season he's played in 9 of the 10 games at left back for Juventus. Scored a goal, scored an assist, a 96-minute winner I think it was, a couple of weeks back. And he's doing well, he's progressing his career. Tottenham are linked with him for, I guess, look, here's the story as far as I can tell. Tottenham fans increasingly think that we need a left back. Maybe the Ben Davies performance against Palace has highlighted that he just doesn't have the pace to cover and get back when he's playing the inverted fullback situation. It's a shame for Ben Davies because I actually really like him as a person, as a player. He's been around the block for Tottenham, and I am someone who, would wish the best of, wish the best for. But I just think that, unfortunately, the system that we're playing probably doesn't suit him and his style anymore. So maybe, just maybe, Tottenham will agree and will look to pursue someone who is a better physical fit for the requirements of the left-back role. On top of that, to bolster the story's integrity, remember Tottenham have got recent history with Juventus via the stories where we signed Kulusevski and Rodrigo Bentancur. Relationship has been forged between the clubs. Daniel Levy and the Juve board obviously seemingly can get along enough to make negotiations happen. To add more fuel to the fire, Juventus need money. They're in a bit of financial dire straits. And of course, Paratici is apparently hanging around. And so you put it all together, and up pops Andrea Cambiaso's name. And I'm not sure if that is really the extent of it. I'm going to talk about the player in a second, but I guess the other thing to remember before we get into this is I'm pretty certain that Manchester United's loan deal for Serge Reguilon ends in January. I think. Now, there might be a desire to renegotiate for the second half of the season, but Manchester United will surely be looking to bring in reinforcements in that end of the pitch anyway. They're a little bit destitute defensively, but at the same time, Erik ten Hag decided to play a centre-back in the left-back position when he had a left-back on the bench in Reguilon for the disaster that was the Manchester derby. So who knows what Erik ten Hag's thinking? I'm not even sure if he knows at the moment. But I think that there'll be some complications to this story, even if it's true, just via the fact that, on January the 1st or whenever it's going to be, we're going to have an extra two, or we're going to have 2 additional left backs. We're going to have Ben Davies and Serge Reguilon, plus of course Destiny Udogie. And so I would imagine before we were to bring anyone in, like him or anyone else, personally, I prefer Anthony Robinson at Fulham. Although someone told me on my live stream yesterday that someone in the comments said that he's got a hole in his heart, and that's only been discovered since he's been at Fulham, and that he wouldn't now pass a medical somewhere else. I don't know if that was if that's true or not. I haven't looked it up to verify it, but if it is, that's interesting. But anyway, I really like Anthony Robinson. I don't know too much about Andrea Cambiaso, I'll be honest, guys. I've seen the highlight reels of Serie A, but I haven't really focused or spent too much of my time watching Juve this season to have an opinion on him. But I have gone to the Y Scout tour, I have dug into him, had a little thought, look him up and down his highlights and lowlights, and obviously looked at the FB refs. I'll pop the FB refs up on the screen for you so you can see that what I'm saying is generally true. And I think that for all intents and purposes, this guy appears to be, it reminds me a little bit of Serge Reguilon, if I'm entirely honest. Yeah, fairly balanced, not blessed with blistering pace, not physically dominating, but good at most aspects. I think for all of the relevant sort of stats that you're looking for from a left back, tackles, dribblers tackled, dribblers challenged. He's up there in the kind of top 20th percentile comparatively versus all other fullbacks in the top 5 leagues. He gets forward quite a lot. It's quite impressive stats with his actions that lead to shots, which is very important. Not so many of his actions actually lead to goals for Juve. His crossing doesn't look, and I'll be honest, the stats I don't think support it from memory. You'll see it on the screen. They don't look fantastic in terms of the frequency of them, but when you go to the Y Scout tool, he does actually have the ability to put it into the dangerous area. But again, I don't really know anymore what system, at least at the moment, we're trying to recreate. Ange Postecoglou doesn't naturally like putting balls in from deep. He likes the fullbacks to get forward and be part of intricate setup and build-up plays that result in the ball coming across in a different sort of system in the end. So he looks balanced. He looks very balanced as a player, can get forward and support the Juve sort of higher end of the pitch and can get back. But to me, I just don't know whether or not he stands out. I haven't watched him enough to say I really understand his game. He's 23 years old. He's getting things going at Juventus. But if Nottingham Forest and Tottenham are the two major teams, I don't know if you can read into that too much. Like, is he a player that we should really be looking at? Maybe that's dismissive of Forest, and I don't mean to be. But and I think Juventus only want 15 million for him. Again, that doesn't matter anymore when you've got someone like Ange. He doesn't need money. He doesn't need bags of money. He just needs to identify the right player for his system. And I'll be honest on this one, guys, I don't know if he is or he isn't. From what I've seen, I think he looks a good player, but I don't think he looks... when you see players and you kind of just go, yeah, would love to see him in a Tottenham shirt, like a Teo Hernandez, like a Destiny Udogie. Those are the kind of marauding left-backs that can get forward, create, and you just visibly understand the value. With this guy, didn't really come across to me like he was something worth writing home about. And I also think that it could also just be a little bit of, as I said at the start of the video, circumstantial or fortuitous circumstances with regards the fact that Juve need money, the fact that we've got a relationship with Juve, the fact that we've already done business with them in the past, the fact that Tottenham maybe are looking for a left back with the kind of expose of Ben Davies's apparent ill fit for this system, at least after the Crystal Palace game. Although, can you really judge him after one game? I don't know. But I'm going to give this one 3 out of 10 in plausibility and a 3 out of 10 in desirability. Coming from the Daily Express, I don't know if the Daily Express are as bad as the Sun or as bad as Fajaci's or whatever, but hey, it's out there, so I thought I'd bring it to your attention. If any of you guys know and follow Serie A this season, let me know your thoughts on Andrea Cambiaso. Let me know. I'm pretty sure I spoke about him last season or last January. I'm sure I've spoken about it before, because I think in the video or in the live stream, I think I asked the question whether he was related to the other Cambiaso, and someone said no, clearly not. The name's not even spelt the same, which I felt foolish for. I'm pretty certain I've spoken about this guy before. In any event, he hasn't really struck me on my radar, so like I say, 3 out of 10 for plausibility, 3 out of 10 for desirability. Not good enough for me. I'm going to give it a wah. But let me know, guys. What are your thoughts? And who would you rather see come in? Do you acknowledge we need a left back? Do you think we need a left back? I think we do at some point. I'm not sure it is the highest of priorities. A centre back is obviously the higher priority. And then I think you go to a forward after that. And then I think you turn your attentions to a left back. And then at some other point in the very near future, we also need to be getting a goalkeeper in, because we're all talking about what happens if you lose Bissouma or Sonny or Maddison or Romero or Van der Ven or Udogie. What happens if you lose Vicario? I know injuries to goalkeepers, touch wood, are less frequent than injuries to outfield players. But it would be, even a sending off, if Vicario got sent off, even that would disrupt our flow, because we saw against Fulham, as much as I like Fraser Foster, he isn't comfortable with distribution, and I don't think he's getting to some of the magical saves that we've seen from Venom over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Like, subscribe and comment, let me know your thoughts, and as always, bye bye.